Well, folks, today we are going to do NCERT questions pertaining to subject chapter, that is straight motion in a straight line. So this is the first question of chapter 3. In which of the following examples of motion can the body be considered approximately a point object? Here, basically, point object means if the size of your body, which is in motion, the size of the body which is in motion, if it is negligible in terms of the distance it is traveling or whatever activity is happening place, then it can be considered as a point object, like a railway carriage moving without jerks between two stations. Now, stations are very far away, like 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, and in comparison to that distance, the railway carriage will be approximately 100 meters, 200 meters, or 400 meters. In that case, you can consider, yes, of course, this can be considered, railway carriage can be considered as a point object. A monkey sitting on top of a man cycling smoothly on a circular track can be very big. So monkey, the size of the monkey can be considered as a point object in comparison to that circular track. A spinning cricket ball that turns sharply on hitting the ground. Now, your ball is spinning in a very small distance. So, in that, since the distance is very small, so the size of the ball is comparable to that distance. So, it cannot be considered as a point object because the distance within which it is spinning is comparable, or you can say more or less a little more it will be in comparison to the size of the ball. A tumbling beaker that has slipped off the edge of the table. This also basically the size of the beaker, and it is slipped off, then that slipping distance cannot be much. So both the means slipping distance as well as size of the beaker, they are comparable. They are not, the difference is not very much. So this cannot be considered as a point. I hope you understood. The idea behind is that any body which is traveling a distance, if that distance is very large in comparison to the size of the body, then of course you can consider that as a point object. Now we'll go to the second question. It says position time xt graph has two children A and B returning from their school O to their homes P and Q. This is P and Q. Choose the correct entries in the bracket below. So this is basically the school. These are the homes distance wise because it is the x-axis and whatever time is elapsing, that is given in t-axis. So first is A or B lives closer to the school than B and A. Of course, this is A correspond to this and B correspond to this because this is like this and this is like this. So naturally A is living closer to school than B because that this distance OP is lesser than OQ. So here A is living closer than B. A or B starts from school earlier than B or A. Naturally, A is starting from this point and B is starting from this. Means after some time, this is the time. After this time, B is starting. So naturally, A is starting earlier. A and B walks faster than BA. Now, faster means it is speed or velocity you can consider. Now, for speed and velocity in x-ray graph, it is the slope of the graph which speaks about velocity of the body. So here, slope of this is steeper. This is flat. In comparison, that means B walks faster than A. Then A and B reach home at the same time or different time. So he is reaching, just extend it to this, and here you extend it to this. That means, of course, B is reaching faster than A. So at different time. A and B overtakes B and A on the road once or twice. Naturally, B, it overtakes A. A is going like this, but B, it is starting late, but it overtakes A. So B is overtakes once. So this is the answer. Now let us see what is question number 3. A woman starts from her house at 9 a.m. So she starts from 9 a.m., walks with a speed of 5 km per hour on a straight road up to her office 2.5 km. Stays at office at 5 up to 5 p.m. and returns home by an auto with speed 25 km per hour. Choose suitable scales and plot exterior. So here let us see. This is time. This is your x. Here what you can do is she is starting at 9 a.m. So you can start the scale at 9 a.m. Then it is 10 a.m. Then it is 5 p.m. With suitable scale, you can plot this. Now we will do a little bit calculation like 5 km per hour speed is there, distance is 2.5 km. How much time this distance, how much time we will cover? 2.5 kilometer upon 5 kilometer, that means zero point 5 hour. That means at 9:30 she will reach her office This is your 2.5. Correct. Now she stays up to 5 p.m. So naturally there will be no activity, and up to 5 p.m. she stays in the office. Now she is returning back. How much time it will take? 2.5. Again, the 2.5 kilometer is there. Now the speed is 25 kilometer per hour. That means 1 by 10 or 6 minutes. That means suppose this is 5.06 p.m. Then at this point she will return. So this is the graph. You can make it is very easy. From the graph you can say for this half an hour this is 9:30. This slope will give you the speed, and this slope, it is the downward slope is there, that means negative slope is there, that means it is the body is returning back. Now we will go to question number 4. The drunkard walking in a narrow lane takes 5 steps forward and 3 steps backward, followed by again by 5 steps forward and 3 steps backward. And so each step is 1 meter long and requires 1 second. Plot the XT graph of his motion, determined graphically and otherwise how long the drunkard takes to fall in a 13-meter away from the start. So in this case, basically, he's going 5 steps forward, or 5 steps is basically 1 meter, means 5 meter he is going and then coming back 3 steps. That means what is remaining is 2 meter. 5 meter he takes in 5 seconds. 3 meter he takes in 3 seconds. That means total second is 8 seconds, means 2 meter in 8 seconds he moves. Correct. Now just see, suppose this is the pit and here it is 13 meter. Suppose 13 minus 5, it is basically 8. When he is at the 8th meter, what will happen? He will take 5 steps. 5 steps he will take and fall down. That means he will not come back for 3 steps. So means these 5 steps he is taking in 5 seconds. This is for sure. Now what is remaining? It is the 8 meter distance is remaining, which he is traversing at this rate. The 2 meter he goes in 8 seconds. That means 8 meter he will go in 32 seconds. That means this plus this will give you the total time period he will take to fall is 37 seconds. First of all, understanding the question is very essential. Otherwise, all other parts are very easy. Now, you can draw like this. Take the suitable scale. He goes 5 steps, comes back 3 steps, then again goes 5 steps, comes back 3 steps, then again, like up to 8 meter. This will be, of course, 5 meter. Sorry, it is 5 second basically. Then this will be, since it is taking 3 seconds, so this will be 8 seconds, like that. And this is 5 meter. Then this is 2 meter, because 3 meters he comes back. Like that, you keep on drawing, and you can draw the graph on your own, understanding the philosophy behind this. Correct? Now we will go to the fifth question. A jet plane traveling at a speed of 500 km per hour ejects its products of combustion at a speed of 1500 km per hour relative to the jet plane. What is the speed of the latter with respect to the observer on ground? Here, velocity of jet plane with respect to ground is given ejects its product of combustion at the speed relative to the plane. That means V, suppose it is the product P, you can denote it. Relative to the jet, this velocity is given as 1500 km per hour. So, what is the speed of V relative to the ground? This is what we have to find out. I told you in my relative motion chapter, this Vp velocity of the product with respect to jet will be nothing but velocity of the product with respect to ground plus velocity of the ground with respect to jet, or this can be written as velocity of the product with respect to ground minus velocity of the jet with respect to ground. Now this is given as basically v velocity of the project with respect to j will be basically, it is minus, because it is on the backward direction. If you take forward direction as plus and this is at minus, then of course this will be plus and this is minus. So here what will happen? Minus 1500 is equal to velocity of the product with respect to ground minus, it is 500, or velocity of the product with respect to ground will be nothing but minus 1500 plus 500, it will be minus 1000 kilometer per hour. Minus, of course, sign shows that velocity of the product will be in the backward direction. Suppose this is plane. Then of course this product is ejected like this. Plane moves in the forward direction. So that's why this minus has come. Now we will go to the next question. A car moving along a straight highway with speed of 126 kilometer per hour. That means initial velocity is given 126 kilometer per hour. This you can convert it in meter per second. Correct. Now it is brought to a stop within a distance of 200 meters. What is the retardation? So actually here distance is given. So and brought to a stop means V final is 0. So we can put this value minus 2 as. Here minus sign is because it is retardation. A is basically here negative. So your A will be nothing but retardation will be nothing but your V square upon 2 into 200. V square is this. You can put the values and find out how long does it take for the car to stop. Uh, Again, we can utilize this formula. So here T will be nothing but V0 upon A. A we have found out. This final velocity is 0. So this is how you can solve this question. This question says two trains A and B of length 400 each are moving on two parallel tracks with uniform speed of 72 km per hour. That means your velocity VA and VB, and it is the velocity same for both the trains, 72 kilometer per hour, or you can write it as 72 into 1000 upon 3600. This this will come as 15 in the same direction. So, and with A ahead of B, it is the situation is like this. Suppose these two parallel tracks are there. Train A is like this and train B is like this. Train A is ahead of this correct? The driver of B decides to overtake train A and accelerate by 1 meter per second square. If after 50 seconds the guard of B just brushes past the driver of A, that means after 50 seconds, suppose this is the train A, this is the guard of B, driver of A. Driver, suppose this is the driver of A and this is the guard of B. So here, basically this is the situation, and this situation arises after 50 seconds. Means this distance B is covering in 50 seconds, and in the same time this distance A is covering in 50 seconds. Correct? Now here, how to solve this? What will be this distance? B's initial velocity is VB0. That means, or you can say XB minus XA will be nothing but VB into 50 plus half A 50 square, correct, minus VA into 50. This XA and B, this is the initial. This is basically the initial in relative velocity we had found out, and this is nothing but XBA. After 50 seconds, since the distance, they are, the relative distance between them is 0, so this will be 0. So this will be nothing but this will be basically, this will be plus like this, and if you equate it to 0, ultimately what is happening here? VA and VB are same, so this factor will go. Ultimately, this is the factor which is covering this distance, XB0 minus XL. So what is this basically? 1 by 2 into 1 into 50 square, or you can say 2500 by divided by 2, or 1250. So by relative velocity, this is very simple. Otherwise, logically also, as I have explained, this is the distance covered in 50 seconds. A is covering this distance in 50 seconds. This distance you can cover, you find out by your normal kinematic equation of motions, minus this distance covered by that again by equation, minus it, you will get this distance, correct? Now we will go to the next question. We are going to do question number 8. It says, on a two-lane road, car A is traveling with a speed 36 km per hour. Two cars B and C approach car A in opposite directions with a speed of 54 km per hour each. At a certain instant when the distance AB is equal to AC, both being 1 kilometer, B decides to overtake A before C does. What minimum acceleration of car B is required to avoid an accident? So let us first understand what is the question. Here, car, suppose this is the road. Now, suppose car A is there, car B is there, and car C is there. A is moving in this direction, B is also moving in this direction, but car C is moving in this direction. Here, this distance is 1 kilometer, and this distance is also 1 kilometer. Question is, B is accelerating to overtake car A, and it should be such that there should not be any collision between B and C when C is crossing A. Correct? So here, what is the velocity? Car A is having the velocity as 36 kilometer per hour, or we can write it as 10 meter per second. If you convert it, then VB is 54. And this will be nothing but 15 kilometers. Now car velocity of B with respect to A will be nothing but 15 minus 10 VB minus VA, and this is equal to VC also. This will be nothing but, it will be 5 meter per second, and velocity of car with respect to A will nothing but, it will be minus 15 minus 10 means 25 meter per second. Here minus sign is because it is coming from the opposite direction. So let us see, car C is moving with uniform velocity up to A. So naturally how much time, how much time it will take for traveling 1 kilometer? T is equal to 1 by 25, 1000 basically, or it will be nothing but 40 seconds. Now let us come to car B. Car B is moving with 5 meter per second with respect to A. So in this 40 second, he has to reach here and cross this car A, otherwise there will be a collision. So what will be the acceleration? Basically, S is equal to V0 T plus half AT square. If you put these values here, S is nothing but 1000, V is nothing but 5 into T is 40 plus 1 by 2 into A into 40 square. So A you can find out. This is how you can find out acceleration. With this acceleration, it should accelerate the vehicle so that it can pass without having any collision with car C. Now we will go to the next question. Question number 9 says, two towns A and B connected by a regular bus service with a bus leaving in either direction every T minutes. A man cycling with a speed 20 km per hour in the direction A to B notices that a bus passes him every 18 minutes in the direction of his motion and every 6 minutes in the opposite direction. What is the period T of the bus service and with what speed, assume constant, do the buses ply on the road? So let us just see what is happening. Here A and B, there are two towns and one cyclist is moving on this suppose velocity of bus is V and velocity of cyclist V dash, then of course velocity of bus with respect to cyclist will be nothing but V minus V dash, because cyclist is moving in this direction, bus is also coming in this section. So this will be the relative velocity with which the bus is passing by the side of the cyclist. Now bus goes past him every 18 minutes. So every 18 minutes the bus is passing through this. So in 18 minutes, how much will be the distance covered into 18 by 60 hour? Correct. This is the distance covered by the bus and this must be equal to V into T by 60. T in minutes. So here again, because every T minute the bus is leaving the depot from A, correct? And every 18 minutes the bus is passing through the cyclist. So these two distances, they must be equal. In this case, this is given 20 kilometer per hour. Okay? So this is one equation. Now let us see what is happening from the other side. And every 6 minutes in the opposite direction. So opposite direction also, this bus is coming. Then what will be the relative velocity with respect to cyclist will be V plus, because it is the opposite direction, into, now it is 6 minutes, every 6 minutes it is passing, and this will be again, this distance must be equal to, because every, so this is second. With these two equations, this you know, this is a very good question, and there are two equations, and V and T you can find out by equating these two variables, two questions. V and T can be found. Sorry, it is not this. V and now we will move to the next question. This says a player throws a ball upward with an initial speed 29.4 meter per second. This says a player throws a ball upwards with an initial speed of 29.4 meter per second. What is the direction of acceleration during the upward motion of the ball? What are the velocity and acceleration of the ball at the high point? So here, basically, you are throwing the ball. Ball is thrown like this. What is the direction of acceleration? Actually, since you are throwing the ball up, then of course on this gravitational acceleration will be there, and its direction will be downward. And what are the velocity and acceleration of the ball at the highest point? Of course, at the highest point, this V with which you are throwing the ball, this will become 0, but of course acceleration will be again be G only in the downward direction. What and what is the C point? For C part, this is x is equal to 0. This is the origin. T is equal to 0. So x is positive in this direction. This is what is given. Give the signs of position. Now position. When the ball is moving upward and when it is coming downward. It is in the range of positive x-axis. So x will always be positive. Position will always be positive. Velocity, of course, it is in the upward direction. It is against the direction of x. So up, for upward direction, it is velocity is negative. For downward direction, of course, velocity is positive. As far as acceleration is concerned, whether it is upward direction or downward direction, it is always in the direction of downward direction. So acceleration will be always positive. So this is how you can. Now let us see the D part. To what height does the ball rise and after how long does the ball return to the player's hand? So here initial speed is 29.4 meter per second, correct? So we can, first of all, we can see this formula minus 2gh. This is given, this will be 0 at the highest point. G is given, so h we can find out, means height of the ball, it will rise, and how long. This, when we find out, this we can find out V is equal to V0 minus GT. So T we can find out because this is given and this is equal to 0 at the highest point. How long the ball returned to the player's hand? Of course, this is this T, whatever T is coming, it will be the time taken by the ball to reach the upwardmost position. Now it will again take the same time in coming down. So basically answer will be 2t. So this is how you can solve this problem. So this ends questions from 1 to 10. Tomorrow we are going to do from question number 11 onwards. So this is for now. So we will be meeting again tomorrow. Thank you very much.